Ruid, R-U-I-D-H. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Ruid? Unfortunately, the only place I have for tool storage is an unheated garage. I watch my tools slowly rust from winter temperatures. What can I do to remove rust and prevent its return? Okay, so to remove rust, you got to get yourself some of this. This is a rust remover, Evapo Rust, that I discovered watching YouTube videos of people doing tool restorations. I think I can actually get rid of this highlight. That's better. Like you, I love all those videos of people restoring ancient antique tools. I'm starting to think some people put tools in acid to artificially rust them so they can clean them up. I don't buy every single one of those videos. However, one very consistent thing is that there are a lot of ways to remove rust. There are acids and there are all sorts of caustic agents to do it. And this is not one of them. This actually removes rust really well. It is non-toxic. It can touch your skin. You don't want to drink it and you want to wash your hands after you use it, but it is so much less caustic and toxic than anything else out there. And it's reusable. You fill a bin with it and you put something in and it removes the rust. You keep that bin. You can keep on putting stuff in there and it'll keep removing the rust. I cleaned up all my 1, 2, 3 blocks because, the problem I have with rust is I use 1, 2, 3 blocks to hold stuff together while I'm doing brass construction. And the flux that I use for silver solder is like a fast rusting agent, man. It makes everything rust. So my 1, 2, 3 blocks had gotten super messed up and I bought this stuff, soaked it in them, and I am in love with it. So that's a great way to get rid of rust. I didn't expect we'd do it. Maybe, I'll do a tool tip about this and we'll do a little demo. For keeping rust off of your tools, you just got to rub a light oil on them. Don't spray them with WD-40. It's a good way to also remove rust using some steel wool or Scotch-Brite, but WD-40, it can dry and go away and leave your piece unprotected. You want to use like a light, like a 3-in-1 oil, like that guy. Rub your tool in that. That's a great protector. I rub down all my tools with 3-in-1 oil. Adrian Hardy. Adam, will you continue doing single one-day builds when there are plans to do a series of builds? Will you continue doing single one-day builds, or are there plans to do a series of builds that are a part of a larger whole? We have a couple of longer builds in the hopper. One is still going. I'll say after Grant died, I was really messed up. And I came in here a few days later. I was actually on a family visit to see my in-laws when that happened. And I came back here and I came into the shop and I just didn't feel like doing anything. And I spent a couple of days in that state. And then I thought, I want to do something that feels more resonant. I want to do something that has more meat on its bones. And somehow doing that just like a quickie one-day build or a shop infrastructure build just felt too lightweight. So I actually dove into a project that I'd been thinking about for a long time. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's going to show up as a few one-day builds because it's going to be a multi-step process. But the very first portion of that took me about 90 hours, well over 2 solid weeks of work. And that is the most elaborate one-day build I've yet had, and it's only halfway done. I still have to do some finishing. I have to do some other detail work and some mechanical work on this thing. But that's the kind of deep dive that I wanted creatively. And part of it is because it was specifically those kind of projects on which Grant and I really connected as makers and engineers and colleagues. Sometimes when you're working on, look, if you're like me and you replicate props, you've certainly had this experience where someone says, "What are you working on?" And you say, "Oh, I'm building this really cool thing for a thing. And they're like, "Really? That sounds weird." You get these responses sometimes from people that just don't get your deal. So, it was always a pleasure to tell Grant what I was working on and to see what he was working on. So yeah, I am also about to travel soon as part of another much longer one-day build. And so yeah, we're still going to be. I'm shooting on my phone for the foreseeable future, except for probably some small places here and there where Joey and Gunther will come in, and we're going to creep up on that as we feel more and more comfortable. And yeah, we're starting to look at some deeper and bigger one-day builds. We're very good on inventory. Like, we have a lot of videos in the hopper, which is nice because it gives us freedom to think about things like this. Thomas Klubholz asks, "Hi from Germany." Hello, Germany. I love your country. Allie Ward and I went there a few years ago on a job, and I spent like a week and a half in Germany. What a lovely, lovely place. What lovely people. How does your wife like her new watering can? She loves it. She loves it. She thought it was hilarious. So I was going over. I know you shouldn't read your own comments, but I was particularly psyched about that build. So I was reading some of the comments on YouTube. We're okay. It's okay. But one of the things I noticed that I thought was very funny was that a whole bunch of people were like, "How can you build something and not show it working?" Like there's a particular kind of OCD, and I completely get this, where you're like, you made a machine, you called a watering can a machine for delivering water, and then you did not show us that machine operating. And I'm really, really sorry. I did shoot a little video of the watering can working, and we'll hopefully upload that. She loves the watering can, uses it every single day. And the succulents that surround the perimeter of our little tiny deck here on the mission are just, they're awesome. They're really lovely. Actually, we have let me show you something. The succulents are, if you've ever grown succulents, they're like aliens, right? There's an amazing book, science fiction book by Stanislaw Lem. It's a Polish science fiction writer, super, super important writer. If you don't know him, you got to read a whole bunch of his stuff. Amazing, amazing writer. And he wrote a book called Eden, which is about a group of astronauts finding life on another planet. But it's not life like here. Like, it's the weirdest life you could imagine. And succulents feel like they belong in that book, right? So we've had a lot of warm nights lately. And as we have these warm nights, we spend a lot more time out on the deck. And wait, there we go. We spend a lot more time out on the deck, and in the right light, succulents can be completely surreal, man. They can be super, super beautiful. So I take these like really peculiar, sort of evocative, strange pictures of the succulents on my deck. Yeah, I've been taking all these ones that make the succulents look far more dramatic than they actually are. Oh yeah, here you go. That's the kind of stuff. Oh. Hey everybody, a few weeks ago I made a birthday present for my wife. I made a watering can out of brass that I had in the shop. And here is said watering can. And the build, we put it up recently, and a lot of you pointed out that I went through all the effort of making a machine that delivers water, because that's what this is. And I went through all the effort of making the machine, and I did not show the machine working. And this is my bad. I really apologize. I should have understood that's what I do with all my other machine builds. Why didn't I do this one? So here you go. Here is the glass. Here is the flower. I keep wanting to call it a flower pot. Here's my watering can, and here it is working. Cheers. I'm not sure if I could drink that. Hey everyone, Adam Savage here in my cave, and we are living through a completely strange moment in time. 6 months ago, the entire world changed. Everyone went into lockdown, and so did Tested. We became a virtual workplace almost overnight, and now I see all my colleagues almost exclusively on video chat. I am shooting only on the phone. I know the sound quality's gotten worse. Norm, Joey, and Gunther are all editing from home. And maybe the biggest change is output. We have radically increased the number of videos that we make because, well, that's what I'm doing all week long here, is just shooting everything on my phone.
And eventually, the world will return to normal, but one of the things we want to keep up is the pace of videos that we've been releasing. We've been ecstatic about your feedback about this, and we want to keep it going, but in order to, we need to ask for your direct support. And so I'm here today to announce Tested channel membership. If you're not interested in becoming a member, that's fine. Tested is not going to change for you. You still get all the same great one-day builds, tool tips, the podcast, etc. But if you are willing to join, we've got some pretty cool extras and 2 levels at which to join. For $1.99 a month, we have our supporter level, and for $9.99 a month, our patron level, which includes all the stuff from the supporter level and some live streams, some direct access to me and the Tested team, and some sneak peeks into our entire Tested workflow and process. We are so excited about the new possibilities that channel membership opens up. And we know that many of you have been supporting us all along as Tested Premium members. And to you, I say thank you. Your support has meant everything. And you can keep it going by hitting our brand new join button somewhere on this screen. Thank you guys for watching. And between you and me, I am most excited by the live streams. I really loved doing those earlier this summer, and I can't wait to pick it up again.